All right, now my last question before we move to the substance is, you're in a unique position. This is my Chris Farley question, where I really think you can see the world.
It was
right?
pretty cool being the bass player for the Beatles, if that's your question. But go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I mean, you're at 575 Madison Avenue. It's maybe the center of part of the universe. You're in touch with Christians all over the country. You have a radio show. You're constantly in media. You have a window on things that very few people do. How does that feel? Is that responsibility, or do you realize that, or what?
I'm not sure that I realize it fully, and I think that's part of God mercifully keeping me genuinely humble, because I'm aware that anything I have is a gift from Him, and it's an honor to do most of what I do, and I don't deserve it. It's a privilege, and it's a gift. It's His mercy. And so I feel, since I had my born-again experience at age 25, I knew that I just wanted God to use me for His glory with the gifts that He's given me. And that much of that has been very difficult. I mean, we haven't talked about it and we don't need to, but it's been a real struggle. I mean, there's no doubt. I mean, you wouldn't know that from the outside. From the outside, you only see the success or whatever it is. But it has been a brutal struggle. It is a spiritual battle. I mean, this is not, about a career. This is about serving God. So It's a spiritual battle. And so therefore, I'm prayerful and humble about it, because I know that it's the greatest honor to be able to be even trying to serve God with your gifting that He has given you. And so yeah, it's been tough. I feel like I have not yet begun to fight, so to speak. I have tremendous ambitions to do things that I have not yet done, and we're working on that now. We're trying to raise millions of dollars to create video streaming series of a number of my books, because I feel like when we touched on the book, Is Atheism Dead?, most people aren't book readers, and most people, including Christians, aren't aware of the information in, for example, the book Is Atheism Dead? And I think this information is so astonishing that I desperately want to get it to the world, and certainly to the church, to Christians, because when you know these things, and this is just this one book, but it changes everything, and most people don't know it. And so God uses me often as a popularizer, because there are all these people that, they write books on faith and science, but most people don't read them or aren't aware of them. I will read them and then say, okay, now I need to put this into a book like Is Atheism Dead that pretty much everybody can read, or that everybody will read, because it's readable, because I tell stories and so on and so forth. And so, but that's still just scratching the surface to really reach the culture. And this is a broken, secular culture. We're seeing the bitter fruit of decades of brokenness and secularism and, buying the lie that God probably doesn't exist. That in order to reach the culture, in order to lead to the redemption of this broken culture, you've got to get these ideas into the mainstream. And I often have felt that's what the church has not done effectively. I mean, it sometimes gets these ideas into the pews, but usually doesn't even do that. And so I kind of want to speak directly to the culture, and that's why we're trying to raise these millions of dollars, because I feel like the time is so late, and so many people I know, when they encounter this information or these stories, they will be thrilled, because they're thinking, why haven't I known this? Why didn't I? Well, part of the reason is because the culture is so secular that the cultural gatekeepers either themselves don't know this, or if they ever encounter it, they bat it away. They've already bought the lie that, look, that doesn't fit our narrative. We're not interested. Sometimes it's open hostility, but oftentimes it's just ignorance. That, well, we don't get into that here. And I'm thinking, there is not a human being in the world who's not created in God's image, who does not hunger for truth. So when most people encounter, these kinds of things, they think, my goodness, this is astonishing. Why haven't I heard this before?